They'll call the whistle on Manels.
I mean, Manels has got to be 6 inches shorter than that guy there. That seems like a bit of exaggeration out of the contact. I would have let him play there. Manels, he's appealing to the ref.
Yeah, it looks like Basafe Doty in the back drawing the contact. And Manel's captain's armband was like flapping in the wind over there. It was very distracting, so it looks like he's got that straightened out as well. The senior keeper from Mexico City, Mexico, Samuel Lechuga, will kick it out of the back. 2 games, 2 shutouts. That's pretty good. Pretty good start to the season for him. He's only had to make 1 save so far this season, Faxon, so that shows you how elite the defense is in the back for Campbell.
Yeah, and even we saw early on, while they did get broken down a little bit, they were able to get a body in front of the shot, and Lechuga wasn't really tested at all in that sequence, so good job defensively by the Camels.
This is the first time Campbell's really had the ball in upstate territory for an extended period of time. Torres clears it out. Nobody really home near the midfield. Arocha fighting for it. Torres. A lot of pressure being put on very early on by Upstate, making Campbell work for it. Momo back to Konings. Long ball, trying to make a connection, goes over his head out of bounds with the Upstate throw. Trying to connect with Medico right there, unsuccessfully. Cleared out by Upstate. So Campbell will have possession. Maxon, what are you seeing early on here as these teams feel one another out?
Obviously, Upstate has really the only quality chance of the game. Bobai was able to fire a couple shots off in the middle of the box, but both teams are kind of failing to hold possession right now. Looking for that long ball over the top from both sides, but I expect to see Campbell to be able to get some build-up play in the midfield soon.
One of the Campbell players goes to the ground here. See if he's okay. I don't know if it's some kind of cramp. He's grabbing at his hamstring. Hopefully he'll be okay. They stop the clock. Remember, in college soccer, you don't have stoppage time. They actually stop the clock when there's a dead ball like this instead of letting the clock run and picking it up for stoppage at the end of the half. Well, both teams get to catch a breather, if nothing else. Still haven't picked up a number on the injured player for the Camels. Looks like he's going to get to his feet, which is good. So we do have a substitute coming into the ball game. That's Alimu Mercer-Miko is going to come into the game to replace, that's Sharaf Amal, who goes out. So our first substitute of the game. He is grabbing at his hamstring as he walks right in front of us, so hopefully he's going to be okay. Amal does have a goal on the season. Played on the U16 and U18 Moroccan national teams. It's a big loss for them. Long ball is going to go all the way in the back to Baeza. Upstate will try to work the possession out of the back. There is, I'd say, a good 15-mile-an-hour wind blowing across the field today. That could have an impact, especially on long balls and through balls. Bobai to Torres. Torres tries to throw one into the middle. Tries to connect with the Rocha. He does. Rocha gets some contact there, goes to the ground. Upstate keeps the ball. Torres fires one into the center, deflected, kicked into the back of the net, and a goal for the Spartans. Big strike early for Manels, and Upstate takes a 1-0 lead. Goodness me.
That's just an unbelievable job by Torres on the wing, just all around being able to stay composed when the ball's getting battered around and throw a cross in there. Manels' excellent run back post is able to hammer it home.
Paul Manels gets his first goal of the game. That's his 3rd goal of the season. In fact, and this is exactly what the doctor ordered for Upstate. They get Campbell down early by taking the 1-0 lead. And that's the first goal that Campbell's given up this season.
And Manel's continuing his excellent run of form. I think he was co-Big South Player of the Week a couple weeks back. Had 2 goals in that game against Radford, so that's great to see for him and great to see for the Spartans.
So the senior captain from Barcelona, Spain, gets the first goal of the match, and suddenly Upstate has the lead. That's exactly what they needed. Now if they can settle in on defense here and try to dictate the tempo. But this is an explosive offensive attack for the Camels. They have 8 goals in 2 games this season, including 6 in the conference game earlier this season. Ball in the box. Both teams kicking around.
Bobai's going to be able to track this.
Yeah, tracks it down on the counterattack. Spartans had some success with the counters against Furman. Bobai carries it. Tries to hook up with Torres, misses him. Long through ball. Baez is going to just blast it out of the back, out of bounds. So Paul Manels, the captain, with the early goal at the 37-48 mark of the first half, gives USC Upstate a 1-0 lead. Both teams fighting for possession. I tell you, Campbell really hasn't had extended possession of the ball at any point in the ball game so far.
No, USC Upstate's been dominating this match early on. Obviously, the scoreline will tell you that, as they're up 1-0 very early in this match, but possession as well. They've been doing a good job of keeping it around in the back and keeping the ball.
They do turn the ball over near the midfield. Campbell working it around. That's Bedico. Chavez switches over to Konings. Working the ball on the flank. Throws one into the center. It's going to go right to Baeza. An easy grab for him. And we talked to Coach Halkett before the game, Faxon, and he mentioned organization in the back, the #1 key for Upstate in this ball game. They've been really sharp so far.
Yeah, and Coach Halkett talked about Campbell and their reliance on crossing the ball and making sure that the center backs in the box were just doing a good job of thoroughly tracking the runs that were being made into the box, because, once again, this Campbell team relies a lot on crossing. So good job in the first 10 minutes or so from the Spartans, but it's going to be crucial that they continue to do this going forward.
Kind of an unforced error. Turns the possession over to Campbell. They're working their way into the final third. 1-0 Upstate early. Kicked out of bounds again. There'll be another throw. The winner of this game will be at the top of the standings in the Big South at 2-0. USC Upstate 1-7 all-time against Campbell. So the Fighting Camels have dominated this series, but they have not dominated this game so far. It's been all Upstate. Long throw into the box. Bodies flying everywhere. Upstate works it out, and here they come on the counter again. Oh, shut down quickly by Campbell. Got to be careful here if you're Upstate. Through ball into the box. Does not connect, so it'll be a goal kick for the Spartans.
That was Paul Manels, the goal scorer, actually tracking back there on the left wing, making sure no runs were being made down the wing. So, got to commend the work rates from him.
It was good work over there by Moses Mensah to shut that counterattack down quickly. We saw that against Furman a couple of times earlier this week, Faxon, especially on corner kicks where USC Upstate would just get it and go quickly, and it turned into a couple of good chances for them. So unlike the match against Furman earlier this week, where it was really 15 minutes of the two teams feeling each other out, USC Upstate's been on the attack from the beginning, and they get the early goal from Manels. Ball bouncing all over in the midfield. Big Moss Lewis at 6'3" for the Spartans. Feels like he's getting his head on the ball every time on one of those long kicks out of the back. Aline. Momo grabs it for Campbell. Torres keeps it in bounds right in front of us. Gets it to Arocha. Both teams fight for it. Bobai tracks it down. Trying to keep possession, going down into the corner. Goes out of bounds. It'll be Upstate ball. Not sure I agree with the call by the line judge there, but USC Upstate will take it.
I think Bobai was also appealing to the line judge there that he was being fouled, so I would more expect to see a free kick than a throw in there for Upstate, but it's going to result in the corner.
Anderson throws it into Arocha, who tries the quick kick into the middle, deflected out of bounds. So Moss Lewis is 6'3", the midfielder, number 32, goes in there. You also see Orion McHugh pushing up out of the back. He's 6'2", the redshirt freshman from Brooklyn, number 4. You got to feel like they're probably the ones that might be on the connecting end for the Spartans.
They're going to play short.
Short to Manels. Back to Arocha. Throws it into the center. Headed into the back of the net. It is 2-0 Spartans early.
And that's just an unbelievable set piece. You got to give credit to Coach Halkett there. I'm sure they work on that in training. Right back to Manels off of the corner from Torres. Delivers a beautiful ball in back post, and it's headed home for the goal. That's a big 2-goal advantage early here for the Spartans. And now Campbell's kind of on their heels going forward.
So the Campbell Fighting Camels had not given up a goal in 2 games, and suddenly they've given up 2 goals in the first 15 minutes of this match. I believe that was big Orion McHugh, who we talked about beforehand, pushing him up, getting the goal. So Orion McHugh, the redshirt freshman from Brooklyn, gets his first goal of the season. And you mentioned Faxon. They've obviously practiced that one a few times. It was just a gorgeous feed into the box there.
That was definitely by design, and you saw Torres kind of line up near the near post here. He's obviously a shorter player. He's around 5'10", so he's not going to be the target they're looking for, but he comes short, plays a great firm ball right back to Manels, and Manels delivers an excellent ball. And so that's 2 goal contributions early on for Paul Manels. You're seeing why he was the co-Big South Player of the Week and the leader of this team and captain.
So USC Upstate is not letting up at all. They work it up to Arocha. Some good defense in the back by Campbell there. Campbell turns it over in their half again. Some contact from behind there by Torres. So Faxon, I talked about how great the back 4 were for Campbell going into the broadcast here. They have been anything but so far, already allowing 2 goals.
I mean, I would give more credit to USC Upstate than say that the Campbell backline's played poorly so far. It hasn't really been a huge error on their part. It's great offense from the Spartans, and we saw the Spartans have a great offensive game last game despite being shut out as far as chance creation and able to push the ball forward. It just did not result in the goal, but this match they're definitely taking advantage of their opportunities. It's going to switch the ball here to Manels, who we were talking about.
Yeah, Roach over to Manels. We talked to Coach Halkett before the game. He actually substituted a ton of players against Furman, and he did that on purpose to keep the legs fresh for this game today because this is the biggest conference game of the year for USC Upstate, and it's really going well for him so far. So hats off to Coach Halkett for having his team ready to play. Upstate continues to apply the pressure as we're closing in on just 15 minutes into this match. Already 2 goals for the Spartans. Frank Momo throws it out. Moss Lewis has been everywhere. Big number 32. He's a handful in the midfield. Momo tries to switch it. Header won by Upstate. Bobai tries to track it down. He'll have that taken away by Badico. Campbell works it out on the flanks. Lots of contact there. It looks like Manels drug him to the ground. That'll be a whistle. And a free kick for the Camels. I tell you what, Faxon, I don't feel like a Campbell player can have the ball for more than about a second or a second and a half anywhere near the midfield or in Upstate territory without the Spartans just attacking.
And as we were talking about with Coach Halkett and the fitness management and the rotations of last game, part of that may be due to the fact they've got more energy to give due to resting some of their starters against Furman, especially in the second half, and the squad rotations that they implemented for that match.
Another long ball into the back. Manels grabs it, beats his man, works the ball outside to Arocha. Could be another opportunity coming up for Upstate. Work the ball inside, deflected. Over to Torres. Torres tries to throw it into the middle. Denied. That comes outside. Momo settles it in for the Camels. Upstate almost turns it, or the Camels almost turn it over again. Physical contact right in front of us. He could have gone about 2 more feet there. He ended up in the box with us.
That's a bit unlucky on the wing there, especially from Hayden Anderson, as he was in perfect position. Ball just managed to scribble through his legs, and Campbell ends up getting a free kick out of it. But definitely good pressure and good positioning there from the Spartans. And Coach Halkett, you can hear right beside us, is very pleased with the way his boys are playing.
So for Campbell up front, you've got Jalen James, who had 3 goals coming into this game, Matt Locke, who had a goal coming into this game, and Aaron Elbustu. No goals, but the junior from Germany's had a great season as well. We haven't called James and Locke's name number 1 time yet because Campbell hasn't had the ball in the upstate, final third at all this game.
Yeah, and a lot of that is due to they haven't been applying much pressure early on as opposed to what we saw from Furman. And here you see a little bit more pressure, but so far Upstate's been able to be content with just holding the ball in the back. You're going to see a foul there.
Yeah, Momo elbows Torres to the ground, and he gives a little grief, I guess, to the head ref there, Kalen Radisov.
I don't know why he's objecting. He elbowed him right in the back of the head, standing about 5 feet from us.
That's the goal scorer, Orion McHugh, in the back. One of the goal scorers, Paul Manel's the other one so far. Work the ball up to Anderson. Oh, Anderson falls to the ground, turns it over.
That's
good job there.
Fantastic work by Pascal Corvino.
Shuts down the attack. So I mentioned at the very beginning of the pregame that in their last 14 matches in Big South play, Campbell is 13-0-1. It's been a long time since they lost a match. And again, plenty of soccer left to play here. Another turnover in the midfield by the Camels. Manels, Corvino. So 13-0-1, 2-time defending Big South champions are on the ropes early in this one. That one's going to go out of bounds. Rare mistake. So got another substitute headed into the game here. That's going to be Alex Igonu. It's going to be coming in for Elbustu, it looks like. The next stoppage of play. Boy, Camels are really having trouble getting the ball out of the back. One of the few times they've done that successfully so far. Attacking from the flank. Turn it over again. Manel's in the back, slips, turns it back over. Both teams fight for possession. Oh, great ball movement there as he works his way into the box.
He's going to draw a corner out of it.
So good individual effort there by Jalen James. Now the substitute comes in. That's Alex Igonu from Dallas, Texas, the senior. He's going to come in for Aaron Elbustu. Now, they did have a substitute a little bit earlier again. Sharaf Amal went out, it looked like with a hamstring issue, and Alimu Mercer-Miko came in. So 2 substitutes coming into the game, but 2 seniors, Faxon, so you've got to love the senior leadership and experience that they're bringing in. Corner kick here from Campbell. They go short. Shot is denied. The Camels keep possession. Throw one in again. Kicked out again by Upstate. This time they come away with possession.
You got a Rocha down there on the wing.
Word up to Arocha, looking for the quick counterattack, trying to connect with Bobai, cannot. Frank Momo over here, the junior from Paris, France, first team All-Big South last year. Turns it over. Anderson steals it right from Momo. He's going to take it into the box. Beats his man, tries to get the shot off, goes to the ground. No call there. Another good opportunity for Upstate, and a big mistake by Momo. He never saw Anderson at all.
Yeah, it's just fantastic pressure from the Spartans, specifically Anderson. Was able to get a quality chance in there. Thought maybe we might see a penalty kick, but ref thought he got all ball. So good call there, and really good attack from the Spartans.
Yeah, I think that was the correct call.
It looked like he definitely got the ball first.
So we've got Jake Morris going into the ball game for Campbell, the junior.
Henry for Campbell, number 6, Timothy Lamb, and number 17, Jake Morris.
Number 6, Jamie Lamb going in as well. So that's 4 substitutes now for Campbell early on. In fact, I don't blame Coach Fonder for trying to get some fresh bodies in here. Campbell has really looked almost lost in this entire game so far. Upstate's been taking it to him.
Yeah, you're just trying to get a different look. Maybe he's switching up the formation a little bit. I'll have to see what more they're doing, but just trying to get a different look in there for Upstate because they've been dominating the lineup he threw out to start the match.
Momo header. Campbell comes away with possession. That's Igonu, who just came into the game. That ball's going to be kicked out of bounds. It'll be a corner kick. Another good opportunity for Campbell. They're finally starting to get a little rhythm and a little bit of momentum in this match.
Pascal Corvino has been great for USC Upstate in the holding midfield. That's the second or third time he's had a sliding tackle to take the ball off of a Campbell player, even if it did result in the corner, saved them from advancing further in the box. So great play there by him.
George Badiko, the senior from Ghana, is going to take the corner kick. And he's kicking this right into the wind, and he kicks it out of bounds. It doesn't surprise me. That wind is kind of gusting a little bit. I'd say it might even be getting as much as 20 miles an hour or so, and he was having to kick right into that. That might explain why a large portion of the possession has been on that side of the field so far for both teams. Two 0 Upstate. We've gone past the halfway mark here in the first half of this match. Winner of this will be leading the Big South standings at the end of the day. Another good job on defense. We talked about how Coach Halkett said organization in the back was important. It's been fantastic for Upstate so far. Long ball looking for Arocha to Torres. Torres carries through the midfield. Tries to keep possession. Cleared out by Campbell. That'll be tracked down by McHugh. In fact, Upstate is not sitting back on their heels now. They're continuing to be the aggressor even with the 2-goal lead.
Yeah, and they know how talented this Campbell team is. They know what their goal-scoring prowess is capable of, so they know they've got to keep their foot on the gas because if they take it off even for 1 second, Campbell's going to pounce and get it back to 2-1. So, yeah, nothing's ever safe, especially with the team as talented as the Campbells are.
And Campbell is starting to eat a lot more possession in the final third in the Upstate end here. Trying to set up their attack and see if they can cut this lead in half. More good defense in the back. And there's Pascal Corvino again, Faxon. He just talked about how good of a job he's been doing, and he continues to do it. That ball will go out of bounds. It will be Campbell ball. Looks like Jeremy Montero, the freshman forward, is going to be coming into the game. He's stretching out here in front of us. Maybe coming in the next couple minutes. What has Campbell changed, Faxon, to kind of get the momentum here recently?
I mean, it's more just playing their style. They're doing a good job of attacking the wings for USC Upstate, especially when their fullbacks are pushing up. So, and it looked like the USC Upstate entire team and coaching staff was objecting for a handball there, and I'm going to have to agree with them. It did look like a handball. It was directly in front of us.
Another long ball does not connect for the Camels. And a quick attempt at a counter for the Spartans. Corvino, back to Baeza. Aline. That ball's going to end up going out of bounds. Momo with the throw in. He's been busy today. He's had his hand full. A little bit of contact there. Anderson goes to the ground. Spartans will take that. Got to be careful back there. McHugh almost turns it over. That'll be Upstate ball. 2 goals in this match already. Paul Manels, the 37-48 mark, to put Upstate up 1-0. And then Orion McHugh with 32-10. So in the first 13 minutes or so of this ball game, the Spartans with 2 big goals to take the lead over the preseason favorite in the Big South. Campbell keeping the ball in the Upstate half. They've been doing it a bunch here the last 6 or 7 minutes as the momentum has really switched to Campbell. They're starting to settle down. Long ball, trying to connect with Jake Morris and could not. In fact, I think that's that wind. I was just shown by Lenny over here, who's on the PA for us, that it's gusting up to about 18 miles an hour. And it feels even more than that, and that could have an impact on those crossballs.
Yeah, and Jeremy Montero is going to be coming on for Javier Torres, and Torres, directly involved in 2 of the goals, both goals actually for the Spartans early on. So very good shift by him. I'm sure Coach Halkett will be pleased with what he did in this first half.
Yeah, my guess is we'll see Torres in the second half as well. Campbell throws one into the box, bouncing around, shot into the back of the net for the goal, and suddenly this lead is cut in half. Kind of unlucky for the Spartans. But nevertheless, it's a goal for the Camels, and it's now 2-1. Looked like Humberto Chavez with the goal, but I'm not 100% sure. Oh, was it Mercer Miko? We'll get that one sorted out. I tell you, when you're calling one of these matches, the numerals for the Campbell team are not filled in. They're just the outline, and that is Alimu Mercer Miko, his second goal of the season. So with 17:27 left, it's now 2-1.
And, we talked with Coach Calcu pregame about tracking runs into the box because of how reliant Campbell is about crossing the ball into the box. And, right there a man got free back post, and that man happened to be Alimu Mercer Miko. Did a great job with his right foot of just slotting it directly into the top corner of the net. So really great finish for Campbell. Let's see if USC Upstate is able to take kind of control back of this match after dominating early on.
Throw one into the box. Header could not connect there. That would have been an incredible effort by Manels. But a good sign from Upstate that they're not letting up. So again, as a play-by-play guy, Faxon, you want to see the very clear numerals. Like they're filled in on the Upstate uniforms, but it's just the outline on the Campbell uniforms that makes it difficult to see. But we got it straight. It was Mercer Miko on the goal. Campbell 7-1 all-time against USC Upstate. Ton of time left in this one. And I get the feeling we got a couple of more goals coming at least in this one. Mercer Miko.
That's a really good idea there. Just got to have a better ball through there, but Mercer Miko, correct idea there, looking to split the center backs with the run, ball over the top.
And remember, Mercer Miko came into this game because Sharaf Amal went down with what appeared to be a hamstring injury, or Mercer Miko wouldn't have even been in the game. So another substitute right in front of us, potentially coming to the game for Campbell. USC Upstate could use a couple of minutes where they own the possession and kind of put a little bit more pressure back on Campbell, because Campbell has kept the ball in the Upstate half here for about the last 10 minutes of this game and cut into that lead 2-1. Baeza taking his time. You can see the gusting wind blowing his keeper shirt. Shows you how hard it's blowing out here. And it's not consistent. It kind of comes and goes, and that's what makes some of these passes and long balls very difficult. Good effort there by Bobai to keep possession for the Spartans. Bobai, the redshirt sophomore from Nigeria. He's been involved a lot in the midfield so far. Looks like an inadvertent handball there. It'll be Camel free kick.
That's real focus.
Gotta be careful there. Almost tracked down by Upstate. Goes out of bounds. So Lechuga got a little bit lazy there trying to kick the ball out of the back. It almost spelled disaster. Good hustle there by Montero. You get those fresh legs in the game, Fax, and you can do things like that. So now for the Camels, Daniel Hernandez, the junior from Columbia, comes into the game. And he'll get Jalen James, the sophomore from Texas, will get a rest. Hadn't heard much from James so far. So about 14 minutes now remaining in the first half. It's been an exciting one so far with 3 goals already. Campbell tries to keep possession in the midfield. Momo goes the long ball. Anderson tracks it down, has plenty of time. Works it to Bobai. Back to Aline. You can see the wind impacting those long balls that go up there. Sometimes picking up the pace of them, sometimes slowing them way down. Manels tries to work it up the flank. Ball into the box, nobody home. Goes all the way through. Momo tracks it down. Lots of contact there as Aline goes to the ground. That'll be an Upstate free kick. As you can see, our score 2-1. Upstate over Campbell so far. Spartans with 2 goals in the first 13 minutes. Then about 5 minutes ago, Campbell with their first goal. This will be a free kick opportunity for the Spartans in a good spot. You shooting from here, Faxon, you throwing one into the box. It's kind of an awkward spot, but you could really go either way. I don't know. You're almost shooting and passing into that wind, so I don't know if you could get enough on it to be able to get a good hard shot on line.
Yeah, I think you're looking to pass here with preferably a right-footed player. Swing one into the box. You know, they already have a goal on a header this game. Maybe looking for Moss Lewis, 6'3". I feel like that's the correct call here. I think you're going to see Manel send this one in off of his right foot.
And Ryan McHugh, 6'2", already has a goal on a header. He's in there as well. So let's see what they do here. Thought about playing it short. Kicked into the box. Ball bouncing around. Still bouncing around in the box. Very dangerous for the Camels. Shot deflected. Campbell trying to work their way out. Some physicality there from Montero. It'll be a free kick for Campbell. That was dangerous, Fax. And you see that ball getting headed 4 or 5 times in the box. Got to be really careful. Fighting Camels, taking their time. Long ball. Good connection there. One touch a little bit too far. Was almost an incredible connection. But shut down by Baeza. That was Jake Morris. Just a little bit too much on that touch. Back line is settled down for the Camels. Both teams kind of turn it over back and forth. Moss Lewis now carries up to the midfield.
That's a really good ball.
Yeah, throws it out for Arocha. Spartans have something cooking here. Let's see what he can do. Rocha tries to beat his man. Continues to keep possession. Into the middle. Looks like that one's going to be tracked down by the Spartans. That's Corvino in the middle. I switch it over to the near side. Bobai. Lewis. Back to Bobai. Bobai's got 2-3 guys on him. A lot of contact there. That'll be a free kick for the Spartans. Way too far out for a shot here, but another good set piece opportunity, Faxon, and the Spartans have had some success on these so far today.
Yeah, once again, you're just looking to get it into the box, maybe on a taller head, but I think you might see something more short range here. But Orion McHugh is going to trot up here onto the edge, into the edge of the box, and he's going to, be that head to look for. So it looks like Arocha is going to send this in off of his left foot.
Rocha throws one into the box. Cleared out by the Camels. It's Mercer Miko doing a good job of keeping possession. Comes over here to Morris. Aline clears it out. Mercer Miko has it taken from him by Arocha. Back to Anderson. Corvino. Try to work it up to Montero. That's headed out by the Camels. Substitute coming into the game for the Spartans. Jimmy James will come in and give Paul Bobai a rest. Bobai's played really well so far. James, the freshman from right down the road in Greenville, Christchurch, gets his first action of this game. A little bit over 8 minutes now remaining in the first half. And remember, there's no stoppage time. They stop the clock here instead of letting it roll and keeping it up in stoppage. So when it hits 0 on the clock, the half is over. Long ball. It's going to be gobbled up by Baeza. Any tactical changes would you expect in the last 8 minutes here by either team, Faxon?
I think Campbell's done a good job settling more into this game, and their crossing the ball ended up resulting in one of their goals, back post. So I think they're going to keep looking to work the ball down the wing and swing the ball in. Hopefully they can get someone to free up in the middle and grab the equalizer here in these last 8 minutes. That's what they'll be looking for.
Taking their time out of the back. Substitute coming into the game now for the Spartans. Julian Fernandez is going to come in. And he's going to give Mario Arocha a rest.
Entering for the Spartans, number 2, Julian Fernandez.
Long throw in. Tracked down by Montero. He's fight for possession. Anderson loses it out of bounds. It'll be Camel throw. Two on our score. And this Big South matchup. Beautiful day for soccer. A little bit windy, but the temperature is perfect and the sun is out. You can't argue with that here. The final day of February. Campbell tries to work it up the flank. Doing a good job of keeping possession here. Can't crack that Spartan defense. They'll kick it back and reset it. Long through ball attempted there, unsuccessfully. And Upstate was really dominating in the middle third for probably the first half hour or so of this game. They are struggling there now, turning it over again and again. Tried to clear that inside, does not work. Morris kicks it off an Upstate player. It'll be a Camel throw. About 5.5 minutes now remaining. Campbell trying to get the equalizer here before halftime. USC Upstate jumped out to a 2-goal lead in the first 13 minutes of this match. The Fighting Camels lead the series 7-1 all time against the Spartans. Long throw into the box. Goodness. Went a long way. Looks like that went off of a Camel player out of bounds. It'll be a goal kick for USC Upstate. Baeza, the senior keeper from Santiago, Chile. 8 starts last season, was 4-4. He's 1-2 this season, but has been playing well. Giving up 5 goals in the 3 games. Gave up 2 to South Carolina and to Furman, and 1 in the come-from-behind win over Radford. Linnell's tries to work a long ball, does not work. Campbell's on the attack. Goes off of him out of bounds. Spartan throw. Neither team real crisp right now, Faxon, it feels like. How big of an impact is the wind playing? I feel like it really is impacting some of this possession.
Well, for a team like USC Upstate, you know, we talk with Coach Halkett, they do like playing those long through balls in over the top. So windy conditions are not ideal for them for those long balls out of the back. And then from the side of Campbell, they do like crossing the ball in. So for both of these teams, kind of impacting their play style a little bit. You know, the balls, you know, might be floating at a trajectory that you're not used to or not, you know, not intended. Definitely has an impact.
Campbell's really trying to make a push here to get an equalizer before half. Frank Momo's been busy today. He has 2 goals on the season. First team All Big South last year. Looks like we've stopped the clock as they get another ball. And they track one down. Again, due to COVID protocols, they're not ball boys this year. So a little bit of extra effort having to be made by either players on the field or on the benches to make sure there's always a ball to get in play. Camels keeping the possession in the final third of the field. Dangerous place for Upstate. That'll be a Spartan throw. Just about 3 minutes remaining now in the first half of play. Spartans taking their time. They'd love to go into halftime with a 1-goal lead. A little pushing and shoving over there. That'll be Camel throw. Both of these teams 1-0 in Big South play. Last matchup they had back in 2019 in October, Campbell got a goal in the second overtime to win that one 1-0. The Fighting Camels really owning the possession time here the last 8 or 10 minutes. Keeping the pressure on that Spartan defense. Long throw into the box, headed out. Upstate hoping to counter here. Attempted a long ball. It's deflected. It'll be scooped up by Baeza. About a minute and a half to go now in the first half. You can see the wind whipping his keeper's shirt. Shows you what they're fighting against. And again, it's going, left to right, I guess, across the field. A little bit of contact there. They are going to call a card. So Frank Momo, he needs to be careful. He's really running his mouth to the officials, but he picks up the yellow card. Some contact to the face there, Faxon.
Yeah, we're going to have the trainer come out to look at Julian Fernandez.
Momo's been involved with 3 or 4, I don't want to call them altercations, but very physical moments here where he's gotten whistles on him, and I guess the referee had enough. That's the head ref, Kalen Radisov. He's explaining over to the coaching staff what he felt like he did there. Fernandez steps off of the pitch. Come back on here in just a second. Clock is stopped with 1:12. Probably too far out for a set-piece opportunity here, Faxon. Do you think they're just going to throw one down into the box, or do you try to keep possession here with this little time left in the first half?
I would throw one into the box, especially when you have to have a player off. He's coming back on now, but I think this is a spot where you can get away with throwing one into the box for sure.
Well, they let Fernandez back onto the pitch, and he sprinted down the sideline, completely unguarded, but the Camels saw it. Also waiting for the clock to restart, and it does now. Throw a long one into the box, and that'll be an easy play there by Lechuga. Right idea, just not executed. Let's see, Campbell's showing some urgency here. Maybe they are going to try to work for one more last opportunity. Ball goes out of bounds. It'll be a Spartan throw. Maybe it's the Spartans that'll have one last opportunity. If you are Coach Scott Halkett, you've got to be very pleased with this first half effort, especially the first 15 minutes from your Spartan squad. So it looks like you're going to be going into halftime with the lead. Long throw, headed out of bounds again. Closing in on the 22nd mark. That's probably going to be it. By the time he gets this ball, I think we're going to be at halftime. So a Big South matchup is living up to its billing. Coach Halkett called this the Big South match of the year for his squad. And they won the first half at least, as they are ahead 2-1 as we are going to head into halftime. So from County University Soccer Stadium, after 45 minutes of play, our score, USC Upstate 2, Campbell 1. We'll be back with some halftime festivities right after this.
House is amazing. Great street, huge yard.
There is a bit of an issue with our neighbor's fencing. At least Geico makes bundling our home and car insurance easy.
Which helps us save even more.
Hey, Sarah. Hey, Peter.
Push it. What?
For bundling made easy, go to geico.com.
Power isn't born, it's built over time. For over 65 years, Hercules Tires has been providing the muscle to move more drivers. Whatever the vehicle, whatever the terrain. And we back it with a powerful protection plan. So wherever the road or the trail takes you, we have the selection, value, and strength to get you there. Hercules Tires, ride on our strength.
Pepsi Wild Cherry.
Tired of cooking at home? Change it up without getting up. Just order Jersey Mike's through our app for no-contact delivery or no-contact at-the-door pickup. Jersey Mike's.
It's in our hearts to feel for real. There's been ups and downs, turnarounds, there's good days and some bad. But we stand together for worse and for better. We'll always have your back. With open arms, heart to heart, hand in hand. Community strong.
Upstate, it's where global commerce and nature's beauty live in harmony. It's where the next generation of leaders is rising. It's $500 million to our economy, each and every year. Perhaps most important, it's where lifelong bonds are forged. It's our time, it's our place, it's our pride, it's our university.
Welcome back into County University Soccer Stadium on the campus of USC Upstate. Our halftime score, Spartans 2, Fighting Camels 1. Monells and McHugh with the goals for the Spartans. Mercer Miko with the goal for the Fighting Camels. Well, every year the Big South and Musco Lighting feature a student athlete. This year's spotlight is on sophomore Maya Timberlake of the USC Upstate women's basketball team.
Hi, my name is Maya Timberlake. I'm a sophomore on the women's basketball team, and I go to USC Upstate. Go Spartans!
What about Upstate was right for you? Why was that the right choice? And what do you like about USC Upstate?
The first was the proximity to my house. I have two younger sisters. They're my world, and I wanted to be very close to them. Second thing is I wanted the school to have my major, elementary education, and the School of Education at Upstate is very strong. Also, it was to transition into the Big South, and I just wanted to be a part of that, something new.
Can you mention some of the organizations you participate in or volunteer with on campus?
Yes, so I'm part of SAC. I'm a vice president. I do peer leadership for the University 101 classes with Miss Sarah Gildersley, and I am transitioning into the FCA leadership team, which is Fellowship of Christian Athletes. And then I'm also working and transitioning into the Center of Athletics for SGA, which is Student Government.
What's great about being part of SAC?
As SAC Vice President, I am in charge of volunteer work, and I am also a part of the Diversity and Inclusion Initiative team. And in my thoughts, what better opportunity to fulfill our inclusion mission than to help serve and volunteer in our community.
From student government to being a U101 peer leader, what are some of the skills you're picking up from these positions that you're fulfilling?
Seeing how I can help or solve a situation is really something I've learned. And then also to be able to communicate with different types of people.
So let's take it off campus now. What are some of the organizations you work with outside of the university?
Two big organizations I work with are Big Brother, Big Sister. Shout out to my little Jada, love her. And I also work with different basketball camps back home, and when we hold them here at Upstate.
Participating with Big Brother, Big Sister, you have a little sister. Tell us about her if you can.
Yes, Jada, she's a little now 4th grader, goes to a local elementary school. But now it's been about a year that we've been in contact with each other, and COVID's changed different things, but I love talking to her and being in her life.
In addition to the many organizations we've already discussed, you also are an advocate for change, and you've been active in voting initiatives. You participated in the Be the Bridge March at USC Upstate, focused on social justice, and you participate in Collegiate Curls, which raises awareness for natural hair. So, can you talk about those programs and how important they are?
They allow us to come together, and they give us the opportunity to have a say in the direction of our lives for the better.
What have you learned about yourself and others through these efforts?
I've just learned to live in the moment and value all the relationships in the community that's around you. And this saying, if you don't get anything else from this interview, is treat others how you want to be treated. It changes the game. It turns the worst of situations into acts of love.
Just recently, Upstate hosted the vaccine site for COVID-19. You were able to volunteer. But talk a little bit more about the clinic and your responsibilities there.
To walk elderly and people that are medical personnel as of right now to the vaccine site destination where the nurse puts the shot in their arm. And I also set up second appointments for them right before they leave.
The balance of being a good student and a good student athlete can be tricky. In what ways, particularly if you're trying to do all these extracurricular things, in what ways do you balance participating in all these organizations with being an academic focused student with being a talented student athlete?
Yes, let me just tell you, I am still working on it myself. I'm still working. But the best advice I have to give is just time management. I scheduled everything in my planner. If I don't have my planner, I don't know what to do.
When you finish up at USC Upstate, what are your career goals? Where do you expect to go next?
I am an elementary education major and a business administration minor. I plan on using my degree in education, continuing on that track, and I want to go all the way up to be a superintendent.
Copy, thank you.
How long do we have? 2:30? Yep. Okay. We'll do stats. I'll ask you for some thoughts. That's a pretty quick flip out to another commercial.
Okay. $60 till we're back.
All right. So we're going to do stats and go to break pretty quickly.
Yeah. Because we still need to get in another 2:30 break.
Okay.
So where are we at? So that's.
All right, Fax, and I'll literally ask you for like one quick thought, and then I'll do stats, okay?
Yeah. I mean,
is that cool?
We still have about 2 minutes to fill it.
Okay.
About a minute 30.
And what about this? Do we need to do this now?
Yeah, let's go ahead and do it.
Okay.
30 till we're back.
So we'll start with this.
Yeah, we'll start with like
All right.
the score, and then we'll go back to that. 15, 9, 8, 7, 6, 4, 3, 1.
This Big South broadcast is brought to you in part by Hercules Tires. Ride on our strength. Visit HerculesTires.com. Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit Geico.com today. And Sunbelt Rentals. We have equipment for that. We're at County University Soccer Stadium at halftime. You see our score there is 2-1 in favor of the Spartans over the Fighting Camels. Mark Childress here with Faxon Childress. Faxon, a quick thought on the first half.
Yeah, I thought that the first 15 minutes were really dominated by USC Upstate, and the scoreline would indicate that as it was 2-0 after the first 15. Manel's getting a goal in the 7th minute, and McHugh bagging one near the 13th minute. After that, I thought Campbell did a good job of settling into the game. They started controlling the ball a little bit more, playing through the midfield, and really looking to attack the wing and swing the ball into the middle. And ended up getting a goal out of it in around the 28th minute from Alimu Mercer Miko. So it should be interesting to see if Campbell can continue to control the possession, continue to get these crosses in to try and equalize this game in the second half.
Yeah, the Spartans had 6 shots. The Fighting Camels had 4 shots. Each team had 2 corner kicks. There was one yellow card that came very late in the first half, and that was on Frank Momo for the Fighting Camels. You mentioned the 2 goal scorers for the Spartans, Manels and McHugh. Torres and Arocha had the assists on those 2 goals, and then Jalen James had the assist for the Fighting Camels on the goal by Alimu Mercer Miko. All right, let's take one more break before we come back with second half action. Our halftime score, USC Upstate 2, Campbell 1.
Whether it's the practice field or weight room, in class or on game day, we compete down here. We put in work, day in and day out, to take a step forward towards degrees, championships. Our goals? Excellence on every level. 11 schools, more than 4,000 student athletes, one attitude. We are the Big South. where winners are made.
Power isn't born, it's built over time. For over 65 years, Hercules Tires has been providing the muscle to move more.